Sudan has the ability to form relationships and on a personal basis. And so when she mentioned about getting a real estate license, I said absolutely, she would be a phenomenal fit. So we got started. She was very coachable, did exactly what we set out for her to do. And the first year, she laid her foundation to start her business, and from then it has just grown and grown and grown. She has won numerous awards with Circle of Excellence year after year after year, and she cultivates her relationships with her clients, and that's what we look for a real estate agent. It's to build a foundation to where it's all based on referrals, and that's exactly what you've done, and you are a pinnacle of what this industry is about. You really are. I mean, you really know how to treat people. You know, your business, but you're professional, but you're very personable, to everybody that you work with.
Thank you. Thank you. If it wasn't for you guys, I mean, I guess God has his ways of putting you guys in my life at the time, at my job, at my work. And you guys came in and it just felt really, I mean, the people that I've dealt with, I deal with people every single day, but you guys just were very different. Felt very inviting, there wasn't really a barrier between us. But have that trust in you. I don't think I would be where I am unless it's for you guys because of your guidance and everything you have, helped me through. I couldn't be more grateful.
I would say pat yourself on the back because if it were she and I, we'd have 50 of you, and we don't. So give yourself a lot of credit for that. And, where I can attribute your success to a number of things. You can't mold or make a Sudan Weng. That's a person, that's a habit, that's a learned behavior. That is a whole person that came into our lives. And I personally believe that anything you touch is going to turn to gold. I've seen it, not just in this industry. You're going to succeed. We're grateful that you chose us as a path or a mechanism to succeed in real estate. But aside from the person you are, I attribute your success to your coachability, teachability, and your execution. You listen, you do, and that's it. I mean, we're not prodigies in real estate. We're not the know-it-alls. We're not the Jedi teachers, but you took what we said literal and you did every step of it. And because of that, you are where you are today. I really believe you could take about any plan and succeed. We're just glad that you took ours.
I'm trying not to get emotional here. You cannot teach work ethic to somebody. Work ethic comes from within. And you've got that, and you've had it from a very early age in life from your parents who taught you work ethic, like
Yes,
most
they
of
did.
us.
Mm-hmm.
And you are now teaching that to your children because I see it. We've gotten to know them, we've seen them grow up, and they have that drive, and they have you in them.
Absolutely.
And I see it every time when we're together.
Especially Jaden.
But it's you're laying that foundation for them. You've laid that foundation for your own personal business, your own goals. And one of the things that we talked about early on when you got your real estate license is let's goal set. Mm-hmm. Let's put down what it is that you want out of this business and what you want to achieve for yourself and your family. Mm-hmm. And you did that, and then you went and executed it, which is key in any success, in any profession, personal and business. And you've done a great job. I don't know how else to better express our how we feel about you and what you've done, treating your clients with the care that they need. And you are very established here in this community in a very short period of time, and that comes with a lot of hard work.
Well, the people that I meet along the way, all of my clients, they make it easy. You know, I do speak the language that they need, and they've known me in the community for a while. So of course, the reputation is there. But they make it easy where they will tell me what their needs are, and I usually always I do what's best for them. And so they see it. And once their transaction had closed, they'll refer family and friends over. So it makes it easy because I have the right people that comes to me for the help, and I continue to help the community to, for their needs.
You
I'm
know,
grateful.
GreenTree Realty, we shorten it sometimes when we say GTR, and that's GreenTree Realty. But GreenTree Realty, the GTR, really stands for gratitude, trust, and reliability. And that is what you have expressed to your clients, and they see that on a daily basis. And that's what we're all about, is the gratitude for our clients, the trust that we want them to have in us, and reliability. That's you communicate, you call, you execute to the fullest, and that's what we're all about.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
If you were to lay out your path to the success that you are today, from the day you got into real estate until current, tell me what your journey's been like.
I can't tell you that it's difficult. It really hasn't been too difficult because I have you guys as my guide. And I started, as you said, lay down my brickwork, and business just came flowing in. It hasn't been difficult, but I have worked hard. Even when I first had my other business before as my side job, this started as part-time.
Right.
Started as a part-time, and I said, I really want to dabble into this full-time eventually. It only took me about a year or so to really realize that this is what I wanted to do full-time. So cut off my other job and continue this through. Even with my the first year of doing this part-time, I've done so much more than I thought I would. And you guys have told me, oh, you could potentially double what I was making then. And it really did. And I was like, wow, that really kind of opened up my mind on how this business can really, there's no cap to it. Of course, working for somebody, there is a cap in my other industry, but here it's more like, as hard as you work, you're gonna get that return. So I said, okay, let's try this. And lay down the foundation, just call everyone I know, the sphere influences, and just everybody. People maybe I haven't reached out in a while, and I just say, hey, just so you know, I'm doing this now, and visited plenty of places in the area just to introduce myself. And it just came back, rolling back. And from one client to another and another, so on. I haven't done really any advertisement. Really, I haven't done much advertisement at all. And so it's all from word of mouth. So the marketing was not needed from my part, but it was just people asking for my name, getting my name out there. And it's not been very difficult, but I've worked hard. There are many nights where I stayed up until 12 and 1 a.m. just to get paperwork in, just to make sure I'm following deadlines, getting my clients' needs. And a lot of my clients are night owls, and I answer my calls 24/7, honestly. First thing I open up my eyes, I'm answering texts or getting things started for the next day or the night before, planning things out. And I do have 3 kids. I trying to work around them as well, and my kids have been great, and they understand that this job is very important to me as well. They are important too, of course. And they understand that, oh, mom has to go. Okay, then my older son will take care of the siblings, and we work hard as a family to make this work. So it's all just hormonal. Yeah.
You know, I'll try to be brief, but you said something what I'm going to call positively contradictive. Okay, so in a good way. You say that it's not hard work. You say that, it just kind of happened overnight. I think we see it differently. We saw you going out to establishments, meeting people, passing out calendars, making sure your card was out there in the beginning, leaving pins and stuff with your name on it. You did the work. You did what we said. But I like the way you phrased it. It wasn't hard. It wasn't difficult, but there's a lot of work you put into it. And that's again why that's what I attribute to your success, or attribute your success to, is you do the work. And it's not hard. A lot of times it's just repetitive, and it seems like, gosh, when you don't want to do it, you just push through and you go and do it. You did that. And I'm scared to say what I think the percentage of agents that actually do what they should, but it's small. There's not a lot of people that do it. And if you just get into the habit, if you just do it on blind faith like you did, you could experience an explosion, and you did. And it wasn't handed to you. It wasn't something that just trickled into your lap. We saw you work hard. We see your sacrifices. You have a perfect balance of business, kids, real estate, and somehow you juggle it. But you're right. How many times do I hear from or get an email from you at 9, 10 o'clock at night? And I'm thinking, gosh, I'm not the only one working this late.
No.
You've done it. You did it. Society didn't give this to you. Bob and Kim didn't give this to you. You sought an opportunity, you jumped on it, and you did what it takes to become what you are today. And even though this may be hard to believe, you talked about doubling your business. Keep doing what you're doing. You'll double where it is today. And I know that.
I think you tripled your business.
Oh,
if we look at everything, you've tripled your business. And the thing we don't account for a lot of times is our family. Time's lost, but you're doing it for your family. And it's nice that with your children, they see how hard you've worked, and they're very supportive, and everybody pitches in and helps.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been.
Yeah.
I remember being in the car when I first got licensed, and the kids would be in the car, and when my phone would ring, they knew everything stops.
Yes.
No more talking.
Yes.
Silence until I get off the phone.
Right.
And your kids have done the same thing.
Yes.
They know when you're on the phone and it's business, they know what to do, because I've never heard them in the background when you and I have spoken. I know they're with you, so you train them well. But, in this business, we work very hard, and but you still have to take the time to enjoy your family. And 2 years ago, you finally did that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You took some trips,
Oh, yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
and it's good for the kids to see all your work hard is for them.
Absolutely.
And the cruises you've taken, they've enjoyed that. So it's a balancing act, and you do it extremely well.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say is, the work maybe not that hard, but doing it and doing lots of it has paid off. So the work's not hard, but the journey can be. It can be a rocky road. It can have its ups and downs. You get hit in the face every now and then with something about the kids. And I know you well enough to say that I know this, and it's happened with us. There's times that something happens or something said, you feel guilty and you want to focus more on your children, and you did. You answered that call, and that's why you have the balance that you have today. And like I said, the future is yours. I mean, you know now what you can do. You know that exponentially your business is going to grow anyway now because of the referral status. Isn't that a good feeling?
It really is.
To know essentially you're secure. You're good. Your children are taken care of, your family, you're where you need to be. And all you have to do is keep doing what you've been doing. So, I you know, I look at your accolades, all your awards, everything you've accomplished in up markets and down markets. You succeed, and it's almost like, well, we know she's going to be fine. She'll do the work. She'll do what we say, not what we say, but what we advise. Um, I've never been more at peace saying that I know somebody will continue to succeed as I am with you. I know you're there. So,
Thank you.
and that speaks to you.
Thank you. Thank you both. It, yes, the work it's hard. It's not hard, but it takes a lot of it. But it's all about the balances that I find my family helping me, you guys understanding, my clients knows. But I love what I do. I wouldn't trade this for anything else.
I'm glad we met you.
Yep.
I'm glad we met each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
I say throughout your career, even though it hasn't been that long, it's been a path of success. You have been able to establish a level of excellence and maintain that, even grow upon it. Yet the market hasn't been as stable, as flat, as predictable. How do you handle that? What have you done in your career, short or long, to absorb the market differences? What do you do in business to maintain your level of success?
So my base of clientels have all kinds of needs, and a lot of them have different. Meaning, I do commercial, I do residential, and I do property management. My property management business has grown tremendously in the last couple years. So yeah, just have different ways to cater to my clients.
Okay, a lot of the industry doesn't understand really what property management means. A lot of people perceive it as, oh, you're going to help me find a rental.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really what property management
Mm-hmm.
is. Can you define it for me? And then again, how you cater to your versatile clientele, because you do. You've got people, the same people buying, doing property management,
Mm-hmm.
commercial.
Mm-hmm.
That's phenomenal. That's a great base. But define property management and kind of how you differentiate in your business when you manage properties.
So I have a lot of investors that likes to buy rentals, and I would help them manage their property for them. First, of course, putting the house on the market, finding the right tenant, making sure we have the right one is the main thing. I sort through lots of tenants to make sure that they're going to take care of the property. Doing home inspections throughout the period that the property is under my care. Calling contractors if there's any need for the house, and then eventually if when the tenant moves out, then I'll do the final inspection to make sure that the house was the way that they were given to. And still, if repairs are needed, then I will contact contractor to make sure that repairs are done properly and to ensure that the next tenant that moves in have the house, take care of the house as their home.
GreenTree has always taught our agents to diversify their business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do listings, do sales, do property management, because you want to be a very well-rounded agent in this business to sustain the ups and downs in this industry. So I am very grateful and glad that you took us to heart and, you know, took on the property management role of real estate, because it's not an easy task, you know, and I think probably in real estate, I would probably say property management is one of the hardest real estate tasks that we do, because we're dealing with two different individuals, owners, as well as tenants.
Mm-hmm.
And overseeing a property, you know, on a month-to-month basis takes a lot of time.
It really does take a lot of time, especially finding the right tenant
Yes.
and then making sure the tenant is taking care of the property throughout the duration of the lease. And then calling the contractors, making sure everybody's on top of it, you know. But yes, diversity is definitely contributed to my success for sure.
You're dealing with two levels with your owners and your tenants. You brought up a very good point. It's really three, because sometimes juggling the requirements, the requests, the coordination of your vendors can be as great as either of the other.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, it also becomes your biggest liability. I mean, I don't want to get on that soapbox too much, but not everybody can do property management. Not everybody can do sales, residential. Not everybody can do commercial, but very few can balance all three. You're doing that. So that diversification is certainly paying off, and that's where I wanted, to get into a little bit. Uh, y- Again, you do what it takes, and the mentality of it's not that hard is a great mentality, because I can say it's not that convenient. It's not always the right time to do the simple task, and that's what becomes harder to balance, and you've mastered that. So again, I attribute that to your success. You're out there doing it.
You know, we've known you for a while now, and we've gotten to know you on a personal basis early on, and a little bit more as our friendship has grown and developed. But you have a very unique story, where you came from,
Mm-hmm.
your family.
Mm-hmm.
Share
Yeah.
some of that with us.
I came to the United States when I was very young with my whole family, but my parents used to own multiple businesses throughout Hampton Roads, and you know, it's not hard. It's very hard opening up business at that time when my parents did not speak the language, and so all my siblings and I, the three of us, will go to the business and help them out, even at a very young age. I saw how hard my parents worked. I just can't stand by and not help. So as a kid, we want to make sure that we contribute to the family somehow, one way or another. So we threw ourselves into the business with my parents, saw them how physical labor, help them whatever they need in the business to, and saw how hard that they worked to provide for us. They put everything up, they put themselves into the business so much because that's the only way for us to survive. And my siblings and I mean, we were young kids, but we saw what hard work was because we watched how hard our parents worked. And we know that we had to be part of it, and learning from them learning from them how hard work pays off. I guess that's where the work ethics I learned from them is how hard they work. The work ethic, it's day in and day out every day. It's the grit that you have to learn, that you kind of see and kind of inherit in our bloods, I guess, because we.
You know, your parents put their children first.
Mm-hmm.
They worked hard. to
They did.
provide for their family. And they made a lot of sacrifices because I
They
know
sure
owning a
did.
business, it's 7 days a week, 24/7. It never stops. You
Yeah.
never get a break. You don't
No.
get to go on vacations.
Never.
And you saw that growing up with them. They made the sacrifices, so they've instilled that work ethic in you, and you have done the same thing. You've made sacrifices for your children, and they see that. And we know that because we ate at a restaurant, and there was your son.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Working, bussing tables. And it was just, it was a moment, it was a very proud moment. And I remember taking a picture of the two of you. I still have
Yes.
that. But it's very heartwarming to see, your kids take on that, I don't want to say it's a responsibility, but almost giving back to their parents. And you have given back to your parents because of what they gave to you.
Yes. Yeah. So with my kids, I tell them all the time to start early. Start early to learn. One, you said it's not responsibility, but it has to be. They have to learn that first before they go out into the real world, and responsibility is going to pile up on them.
Mhm.
So yeah, I try to teach them young that work ethic is very important to their future. That's what, life is about. Kind of.
Yeah. And I'm just listening and absorbing, and, it shows that it is so full circle. What you're doing is because you were recognized for excelling in an industry that brought you into this industry in which you succeeded and excelled again. Now you succeed for your clients, your customers, your tenants, your vendors that you deal with, and your children by instilling those values and that work ethic. And then ultimately, you're turning them out, because it's starting to happen, into society with that same work ethic, which brings it full circle right back around to their generation. And what you're doing is establishing a generational wealth, not necessarily financial, but in the rules and the laws of prosperity, which is work ethic, giving, receiving. You're just a good role model throughout, not just with clients, not just in the industry, but with your children in life, your other endeavors. You don't fail because of that. Do you hit brick walls? Do you go against obstacles? Absolutely. But you plow through them. And, I've seen it more than once. So, um, like I said, your overall ethics, not just work, is paying off generationally. Keep up that good work, because uh, you you've succeeded already by virtue of your children being out there, one of them working, producing, the dispositions that they have. You're on the next phase. You're on the next generation. One day you'll look back and they'll be in this seat, and you'll just be gloating knowing that you had a part of that. So congratulations to you on that. You're doing it right.
Thank you.
Sudan, real estate is not just about the income that we make.
Mm-mm.
What does real estate mean to you?
It's about servicing my clients. It's about taking care of the needs of the others. It's about helping them to their next journey, whatever it may be. Maybe an investor looking for rental properties, and maybe a business owner trying to move on with their current business and finding a new place. Or it may be, finding somebody's dream home, or sellers trying to downsize, like everything. It's my clients' needs are what I'm in this for.
Why? Why does servicing that client make them happy mean so much to you? You got a lot of people that they're just about that next sale. Go ahead.
I find joy in in like, especially now I work with everyone, like I do commercials and property management and all that, but I find especially like in helping buyers, when they see that home, when their eyes glow, that, and then the day when I give them their key, it's their dream home. I find joy in that. I feel like it was me when I found my dream home, the day when I received my keys, like building their new family, making the memories, and for them to go back. Oh, I actually have a lot of clients on Facebook that had added me to be like, oh, year 3 of home closing as homeowner, and they always say, oh, thanks to Sudan, like, or 1 year anniversary. Now we're pregnant with our kid, and they're having this baby's room in there. That's what I find very satisfying. That's what I do this for.
You find joy in giving.
I do. I do. I do.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
And of course, servicing the community here. So I speak Chinese, I speak Mandarin and Fujianese. And part of why I love what I do is that the community needs, because a lot of my client doesn't speak English fully. They understand some, but I'm here to help them navigate the difficult market, the journey of buying and selling and commercial wise. And I remember when we came to this country, my parents didn't speak the language, and we actually did had our real estate agent that helped us navigate into our restaurant business, finding our rental, and eventually helping us finding our home. I really find that satisfying in helping my clients navigate, because they'll be lost. They'll be lost. And the gratefulness that I get that they're able to move into their home or whatever, their gratitude towards me, and that's why I do what I do.
Now, you've even migrated to the point where you do some translation services. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I mean,
So yeah, I've even gone out to help my clients set up their kids at their schools, or help them just translate, open up bank accounts, or help them with letters that they can't understand. So it's whatever they need. I tell them, even after closing, call me anything. Call me for anything you need. I'm here to help.
see, to me, that's truly giving back. That's exactly what that is. So I could go on and say it 100 times, just another tier that attributes to your success. I mean, you go the extra mile and it doesn't feel like hard work. That means you've met your profession.
We really appreciate you taking your time to be with us today and sharing your story.
And know that your story is your own, and that's a part of you. So again, I'll say the same. Thank you for being with us, and we appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate everything that you guys do for me, answering my calls at odd hours of the night when things pop up. But
Now, if somebody needs to reach you and get in touch with you, what's the best method? How can they reach you?
text me, call me, find me anywhere with my name on. But my phone number is 757-352-1339.